Okay, welcome. Hi, I'm Victoria Sexton. I'm a financial coach and consultant, and I'm going to talk with you quickly today because this is our power session, right? I'm going to talk with you today about revenue streams and making money, and this is one of my favorite topics in the whole world. So we're going to have some fun. Okay, so I did a quick poll in the group to see what we wanted to talk about today because money is such a big topic. And by far, people wanted to talk about how to bring in additional income. So I find that revenue streams, the concept is sometimes confusing to people. Sometimes people think, like I had one client who was telling me, she was like, but I like to do this task over here. I don't want to come up with a whole new business. And when we're talking about revenue streams, what we're talking about is leveraging the things that we're already good at to bring in more money. So the things that we already enjoy doing, the things that we are already good at, what I call our gifts. So like, for example, Karen's gift is that she is a great talk show host. She's a great host online, right? She would be a great MC for an event. Just throwing it out there. So she has that magnanimous personality. That's one of her gifts. So we all have gifts. And I think that I really believe that not only is it okay for us to use our gifts to bring in income, but that's what we should be doing, because generally when we're using our gifts, it also feels good, right? It feels like this is what I should be doing. I'm in this space, and like you kind of feel in the flow, right? You got your mojo going on. So that's the first thing I want to say about revenue streams is it doesn't have to be something totally foreign or it has to be a total bummer. Okay. And I'm a big believer. I have a book that I just published in July called Effortless Money, How to Align Your Wealth and Your Woo. And I think that there's an energetic connection with our money. So if your money is a total slog, right? If it's just like you're working this job, you're like, oh gosh, is it payday yet? Then energetically, of course, things are going to be a little bit tougher with your money. And this sounds like such a no-brainer, but when we're in the situation, like you can't see the label when you're in the jar. You know what I mean? So it can be hard to discern that, like, maybe how we're feeling about the things that we're doing are causing things to be a little bit less in flow than if we were really enthusiastic about the tasks that we're doing. So that's my next tip, is that so that your gifts are generally what brings you joy. But if there's other things that bring you joy too, there's this really interesting magical connection between joy and our money. So when you are doing things that you really enjoy, it's like a magnet to other things that are going on in the universe. Like people will point out, they'll be like, oh, wow, that really looks like fun. Oh, it seems like you were having a good time over here. Can you tell me about that? Things start to get moving. So, and I'm going to give you some examples of where we're going with this in just a minute. But I think that when you keep a couple things in mind, one, what are your gifts? Two, what's going to bring you some joy and not be a total slog? And three, how can we make it more fun? I think that that is a really special combination, that when we can make things more fun, that is such a nice way to lighten up our money. So getting into the how do we do this, right? Like what's the formula that I'm going to share with you today? So the first thing is you can make money doing just about anything. And I will have you know, I'm obsessed with side hustles, and I still have a ton of side hustles because I think it's really, I love this concept of being able to do a little bit of work, get a little bit of money, having some flexibility, and doing things on your own terms. So like, for example, sometimes I give feedback on new websites. And so today I had 10 minutes and I went online to the site and I go, found a website to review and reviewed it in 10 minutes and I got $10. And $10 is not going to change my life, but you know what? $10 is $10. And I have a little boy who's 10 who grows like a weed every 3 months. So every 3 months it's new shoes. So let me tell you, $10 is going to get him new shoes at Target. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to bring in more money? So I'm going to give you a couple examples, and then we can really get into the nitty-gritty of the discussion. But I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I really love baking. Okay, let's say my pies are amazing. My pies are the reasons why I get invitations to Thanksgiving dinner, right? So I'll bring my pumpkin pie. So if I am that person, or I get joy and enjoyment and fulfillment from baking, right? How can I turn this into a money-making machine? Okay. I mean, it's clear you can sell your pies for sure. Like you can bake them and sell them. You could do that on the side. You could do, I see people just post on Facebook, hey, I'm making this weekend, and people will place their order. You could get a cottage business license and do it a little bit more seriously on the side. But you can do more interesting things too, like you can sell your pie recipes. You can teach classes on how people can make pies. You can write for a food magazine. So you see how it, when we focus on what the things that we really like and enjoy, it can really spread out like a spider web, because there's not one answer. I mean, the answer is, how flexible do you want things to be in your life? And how can your revenue streams fit into that, rather than us trying to make fit in with, the traditional ideas of making money. So I'll give you a couple more examples, and then let's get into a little bit of a discussion. So you could have a YouTube channel where you show people how to make pies. You could sell recipe books. You could have a subscription service with a pie of the month. You could have a blog called findapie.com, where you go find other amazing pies and rate that against your pies. I mean, you see, it starts to become like this thing where it's like almost infectious. You start thinking of all these different ideas. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from tonight, it's that there's not one way to make money. And especially, the one nice thing that came out of COVID, it was that we could all see how we can leverage technology to help us in our work and in our social life. And so, especially now while we're all using technology, there's not one way to make money. So, here's my piece of advice, is to find the funnest ways to make money so that it is joyful for you. It's not a slog. It's not something that you don't like doing. Instead, I want you to double down on those things that you love, because I think that there's some magic in that. Really, other people can sense it, and they want to be around it when you have that super special magnetism and enthusiasm about that thing that you love. So, oh yeah, and I could go on and on with my pie example about how you can sell articles about pies, all this stuff, but you get the gist. I want to know what your questions are about building revenue streams and cash flow that feels good to you.
Victoria, I actually have a question. So Matilde has this beautiful new trailer that she has. She has such an incredible passion for Peru. And here she's got this trailer, and it's like, I mean, Matilda probably has all of her own ideas too, but any ideas on that? Because she has got such an incredible personality. She comes across so well on video, and just has that real, she brings joy to other people when she starts talking about Peru.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah, it's a good. I was thinking about that. So I said, Victoria, thank you, Karen, because it's like, okay, yeah, that's true. I have my trailer. I have an idea that I can go to different events, but it's something else. Do I have to?
But how can you
okay.
generate an income from that besides just referring them to her
Yes.
product of the travel?
Yes. Okay. So now remind me, are you doing the traveling yourself or do you coordinate the travel?
I do both.
Okay.
So I lead groups and I coordinate. Also.
Okay. And do you live in a place that's desirable for people to come visit?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? She lives in.
But what, my house? You are talking about my house,
Oh,
my
like
place?
in your, like, where do you live exactly?
In Kirkland?
Oh, you live in Kirkland. Okay, perfect. People
Yeah,
love.
no, I'm not in Peru. I'm here.
Right. Okay, got it. So you're in Kirkland, Washington,
Yes.
right? Okay. And people love that area because it's adorable, right?
Mhm.
So just off the top of my head, first of all, there's websites where you can rent out your trailer to a third party. And you could do this when you're not using it. So you could do this for like a weekend or a month or whatever it is. And then another thing is during the summer, because I feel like that's the time where people, you know, in Seattle want to be like out and about and visiting Seattle a lot. So in the summer, if you wanted to hang out in your trailer, you could Airbnb your whole house. You know, you could get really creative. You could even, like, there's all those adorable wineries in Woodinville.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Maybe,
5 minutes from the
right,
wineries.
maybe partner with one of them, or like that lavender farm that's in Woodinville that's adorable. I don't know if it's still there. See if you can park your trailer out there and do an Airbnb for somebody. And then you could be like, oh, vacation amongst the vineyards, right? So you could do a million different things with your trailer. But I mean, and you can get really creative. The limitation that I find is, do you want people in your space? Do you want people in your space? And are you willing to that's the first thing. So with Airbnb, I know some people are like, I don't want anybody in my space. Okay, then that's out. But the second thing is then what kind of connections could you come up with to utilize your trailer? And maybe it is a, like, I think there's like wine country weddings out in Woodinville. I can't remember the name of the actual business, but maybe like at a wedding, the bride needs a place to change. Maybe you could rent your trailer for that, you know. So there's really a lot of creative ideas that you can use just to those two assets, your house and your trailer.
Yeah, but those are great ideas, Victoria. Thank you. But I was thinking more like promoting my own business, that is Conquer Peru, is a tour agency. So that is what I was thinking when I get a trailer, to go through the states, connect with people who are selling like a hiking clothing, and we can promote the clothing, and also that people, you know, I'm promoting my hikings in the Inca Trail in Peru.
Right.
So that was my idea. But now that the winter is here, I'm not going to be able to do it. So now what I was thinking is, because I offer in dinners as for different organizations as fundraisers. So I was thinking maybe I can make dinner in my trailer and sell that for a couples or for a girls' night. And I can make pico sour and some food, Peruvian food. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think that if it excites you, then you're on the right path. I think that, like with everything, location is key, right? So again, you know, I think that if you have your trailer parked in your front yard versus having it parked at like Chateau Saint Michel, you're going to get two different types of response. So I would say see who you can partner with in your community to make it a really fun thing. And another, you could even like, if you enjoy cooking, like you could even partner with, what am I thinking? Like someone who has a small independent winery, maybe they want to,
Yeah.
partner with you on that too.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you can get super creative, but yeah, I think that if it's sparking your attention,
Yeah.
then I would investigate it further and just see if there's any possible interest from people. Because one thing that I've noticed is that if people are interested, they tell you, and if they are not, they also tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, that's true. And actually, I just signed in as a member for the Woodinville Chamber, and we were talking about that today in the morning. I have it was an event lunch, and we're talking with other people there about connecting with like the wineries and do something with them and put my trailer there because it has all my sign. My trailer is, I put my sign there that is a llama and all that stuff. So yeah, that is a good idea. But I always looking for something, to do extra, what I'm doing right now. And that was what I was doing for the last 5 years. No, more than that. Spanish teaching.
Okay.
Spanish lessons. So, I cannot live forever with that income, but give me money to to have my manicure and my pedicure done. So it's like that is what I was doing for the last 2 years because COVID. I didn't have any income for that, so I was tutoring kids, working as an interpreter through the North Shore School District. So, give me income here and here. And I love to be very, with people around me, with kids. So I'm very social. So yeah, that
Yeah.
is one part that helped me in my, in all this little business that I have.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'd say give it a shot. Yeah, definitely let us know how that goes. I'm very excited to hear.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think
Yes.
those community contacts you have with the chamber, especially, they're gonna want to see everyone in the chamber succeed. So any way that you guys can leverage your businesses, I think is a win-win.
Yeah, that's true. So I need to take advantage of that.
Well, Victoria, I'm going to actually stop the recording and we can continue the conversation.
Okay, great.
Just so it doesn't get too long.